Hey, anybody's out there? I got off to a late start. I'm new to this live kind of feed thing and just trying to get used to it. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. Thank you for coming along if and when you do. Um, and also, thank you for subscribing. I got 228 subscribers now. It's all just fun, you know. If you want to join and have a hoot, that's good. I'm in my onesies pajamas tonight because it is cold outside. And after this, I'm pretty much going to bed. I'm tired. It's been a long week. Lots of things going on. I hope everybody's doing well tonight. Hey, 351 Cleveland, how you doing? Good to see you. This is Rob here, up here in Canada. I don't know where you're from, but I'm up in Ontario, Eastern Ontario, on the eastern part of Lake Ontario and St. Lawrence River. It's where I hail from. Today we're just talking about fishing cheap when I was young and I didn't have any money. The things I used to do to get fishing gear. South Carolina, nice. I've been through that beautiful state. It's wonderful, especially in the winter. It's a lot warmer than it is here. You guys got some really good largemouth bass fishing there and some alligator. I didn't touch the alligator, but I did do some bass fishing there. It's fun. Not many alligators. I didn't see too many, but there was a few. Yeah, and all right. So, like I say, when I was a young man, I used to have a Daiwa fishing reel, and I had one Daiwa fishing reel when I was 16, and that's all I had. And I had a fishing rod too, but I didn't have much for tackle or anything. I had no money, and the way I used to get my tackle, guys, is the water would drop on our lake in the summertime. And so what I would do is I'd go scouring the shorelines and pick up sinkers and hooks and lures. I used to find like amazing lures. And well, I'm just talking to you, 351 Cleveland right now, but that's how I used to get my tackle when I was 16. I'm 58 now. That was a few years ago. But and the things I used to find, like I used to find with my canoe, I used to find these going along the shoreline, and I'd find broken fishing rods, broken lines, where a fish had just taken the line, or you hook into it, and you pull up all kinds of wonderful tackle. And I saved myself probably hundreds of dollars. And the only time I ever buy tackle is really now, which is strange because I don't need it. I have so much tackle and sinkers and hooks, and I've got bait caster. I've got so much going on, and I don't really need it all. And you know what? I only have one life to live, and I only have so much time. So you know, how many fishing rods do you need? But I have too many. But I'm going to kind of wind it down this year. I want to fish with two solid ones. I'm going to get them ready. I'm going to use a level wind bait caster. And of course, my spinning rod is one of my favorites. But the problem with the spinning rod, and a lot of people don't understand this, is that when you hook a big fish and it winds like counterclockwise like this, or clockwise or whatever, it kind of twists the line when you put a heavy weight on it because it's mono, right? And the mono stretches and it kind of keeps that memory. And after a big fish after you fought a big fish, you got this like wow spirally line. So it's important to get a good line. Now, that's something I never got for free when I was a kid. I had to go and buy that at Canadian Tire. But I could only afford the shitty line. Like the Canadian Tire, I think it was Motomaster Special or something. I don't know what it was, but well, that thing had stretch in it, and you had to fish it differently than nice fishing line. And when you felt the bite, it was like a little shock absorber kind of thing. It was weird, but you get used to it. You just have to set the hook a little bit harder. Uh, yeah, I know, eh? And then there's a place up near the bird sanctuary, not too far from here, where people fish from shore, right? But there's a cable line or power line that goes across the causeway along with it, and you can see the friggin' hooks and sinkers hanging off of that. It's hilarious. Yeah, I don't bother with that though because that's electrical. I don't get shocked. But there's a lot of stuff where you go. But the thing is, that water where it is, if you go in there in the summer, that water's pretty skanky, and you're probably going to get some sort of waterborne infection on your skin or something like that. I don't go for that, but where the water's nice and clean and that, oh yeah, I'll go in there. My wife's got a scuba mask thing she puts on, and she goes down underwater, and she's found me a ton of tackle. And I mean, some of this tackle I'll never ever use, but what I do with that tackle is I donate it. Yeah, I put it in a nice little package and I give it to the Goodwill here in our area, and maybe some wonderful a kid's going to get super excited about fishing and see those lures and then just grab them, because they are good lures. I don't put junk out there, just stuff I'm not going to use in particular for myself. And sometimes I put some goodies for the kids because I love that. I love seeing kids smile and having a good time. And fishing is, I don't think there's anything better than fishing for a kid, guys. Oh, in Ontario, here the weather has been frightful. We have snow every other day, and oh, my cat's playing. my big cat. Sorry, you guys. You having a good time, Moon? Wish I could turn the camera around so you could see. But yeah, the weather here, we get 10 to 15 centimeters of snow, and to put that into American, about 4 to 6 inches. Now, that's not a lot, but the problem is it's been coming pretty much nonstop. So my roof, tomorrow I got to go out there and clear off the eaves near the garage door because the wind has kind of whisked the snow up there and the snow load's uneven. So I want to even up the snow load at the very best and get that off. And yeah, I haven't been fishing because of the snow. Correct. Yes, I was down by the power dam today. Actually, I was visiting my mother-in-law. She's going to be leaving this world in not too long from now, and my heart goes out to her. I love her. She's a wonderful lady. But I went and saw her today and was there for a few hours, and then I went down by the water and I noticed it was all open. But the thing is, to get to the water, you'd need some good snowshoes. But that being said, as well, it would be so heavy because the snow we're near 0 Celsius or 32, 30 Fahrenheit. So the snow is kind of and if like an old guy like me, I'm good with the snowshoes, but I'm telling you, it's about a half a kilometer to well, we'll say about a half a mile to 3/4 of a mile to get down to the water from up above, and you have to go through some pretty heavy snow. And I tell you, by the time I get there, this old guy is pretty gassed. But then I sit down and I wanted to do some trout fishing, guys, in case, 351 Cleveland. I'm not talking to a bunch of people, I'm talking to one person, right? Yeah, so I go down to the river down by our power dam where the catfish are. They may be there now, I don't know. But brown trout is my focus when I go down there. We get some real whoppers down below the power dam, and where these brown trout are coming from is in the Adirondacks, which is just south of here in the U.S., New York State. Every year they stock hundreds, thousands of browns in the multiple rivers that feed the St. Lawrence River in the streams, right? And it's a world class fishery, guys. I've been there many times. I've caught so many beautiful trout. Rainbows, browns are predominant, and those are the ones that are stocked. And then they have brook trout that they stocked way back in the 60s that are in those little streams and that. I do fish for those, but if I don't nick them too bad, I put them back because usually they're only, they're not too terribly big. If I can get myself on the camera here. There we go. Orient myself. They're not that big, but they're beautiful. Oh, hey, I got my Moon here. You gonna be on camera, Moon? There she is. That's my girl. She said if I'm gonna be on camera, she's gonna be on camera too. This is Moon, guys. She's my beautiful, beautiful black cat. And she is a girl and she's beautiful. And I think she's telling me she wants out. I don't know. Yeah, that's what she's doing. She's gonna go out by the window, I think. I'm gonna wait for her to call me. She's got me trained. Yeah, so we've been getting a lot of snow here, guys. It's just nonstop. And tomorrow we're getting another 15 centimeters. Now, December and January up here in the Northeast, like we're up here in Ontario, in the Eastern Ontario, it is normally not this snowy. In fact, it's cold. Usually it's like minus 30 overnight and like, minus 14 during the day, and that's what it is. But it's been mild, and we've got a lot of snow. And I can't even dig out my backyard. Like I usually leave a little trail for this beautiful thing up here, this cat of mine, so she can go for a little walk. And she is miserable, man. She does not like the snow, so I try to do things for her. Yes, dear. She wants me to let her out, but it's not going to go well. We'll see how this goes, guys. But I can tell you, you can see what's going on here. She is not going to like this. Snow everywhere. Oh, she tricked me. She's trying to fool me. I don't know what exactly she's trying to do, but you know women, they manipulate it. Even in the cat world, apparently. There we go. Yeah. So 3:51, if you're not on, don't worry about it. I mean, there's not a lot of people tonight. Saturday night. I know I'd like to do these feeds on a Sunday night, maybe. And perhaps a Friday night we'll do live fishing. I want to do that once in a while. I'm not going to have like, some guys, they have like 6-7 hours. I'm not probably going to go there. I'm probably going to keep it to about 2, and then I'll just do video feed for the rest. Like I'll just make a video out of it. But I don't know. We'll see what happens when we get there. Oh, you're still here, man? Yeah. Well, thanks for sticking around. Sometimes I get 3 or 4 people to come and visit, and sometimes I don't get anybody. But it's okay. Like I'm learning how to do this. For me, it's all about fun and camaraderie. I'm about a year and a half away from retirement, and I'll have more time on my hands, and I'll have to keep myself fairly busy, as I don't want to end up in trouble. That's the thing about not being busy. You can get yourself into mischief. I mean, we're all good people, but left to our own devices, who knows? I'm not dangerous though. Only to the fish. Back and forth, modding on another YouTube channel. Also, yeah. There's you know what? I've been watching some of the live feeds and the other feeds on the other YouTube channels too, and you find those little niche channels, that if you're a cat fisherman or a carp fisherman, I'm primarily the carp and catfish guy, but I've caught lots of bass. And I've also caught lots of muskie, pike, brown trout, rainbow trout, salmon, lake trout. Oh, she's back again. You coming and trying to manipulate me, little girl? Come on, baby. There she is. Hey, sweetie. Oh, yeah. Dad's little girl. Didn't work first time trying to manipulate me, eh? So you're going to try again? Is that how it works? Hey, Mom? So Moon and I are hosting it now. She says I'm pretty lame. I need to bring up my game. Isn't that right, Moon? Sure, Dad. I'll give her a voice too. Why not? She's beautiful. I love her. I love this thing. Yeah. See you later, kiddo. I also have a tabby cat too by Luna, who's not quite as frisky as this lovely 11-year-old black cat that I have. Moon's been with us forever. She likes when I bring fish home. She smells them. I suppose if we cut her up a piece, but I'd like to cook it first because sometimes fish do have worms, and they get into their intestines and it's not good. So although you can give them some worm stuff, but I'd rather just I parboil it sometimes, and for the cats, and it's better that way. I used to, like a long time ago, I had a cat when I was living at home. That's what we do, parboil it. My mom wouldn't parboil, but I did because I was concerned that the cat was going to get worms. But it never did, so I think my mom was right and I was wrong. But it doesn't hurt to be cautious. So fishing trips this year, I think that I'm going to be. I'm going to say we're going to do about 10. But there'll probably be a lot more small ones. Where I'm planning on going in this area, I'm in Eastern Ontario, and I can give you some ideas where I'm heading to. Jessop's Falls. Jessop's Falls is up on the Payne River system, Nation River system. It's Payne River, and it empties into the Ottawa River. And there's a beautiful conservation area there, and you're allowed to fish there. And there's a kayak launch, and There's a lot of good things going on there and lots of nice wildlife. Um, I'll be going there a couple of times, and what we'll be fishing there, it's got so many different varieties of fish, but primarily I'll be targeting channel catfish because the Ottawa River's the notorious for channel catfish. It's got way more than the St. Lawrence, I argue. Although the St. Lawrence River channel catfish are much larger, but you know, you take what you get. Um, so I'll just give you, for instance, a fairly large catfish on the Ottawa River is about 20 pounds. Okay. Um, these are channel catfish. And then a channel catfish in the eastern part of Lake Ontario, Kingston, Brockville, down there in our area here near Cornwall, you could get them. I've seen them I think I seen a 26 pounder one time, and I know there's bigger. But they really love the power dams. They like that fast water in that. And Jessup's Falls isn't really a fast water area, but there's a lot of rocks and broken trees and stuff. And catfish, channel catfish, like cover, and they'll go and hide in those little holes, and they'll come out and they'll at night and they'll roam. But during the day, they'll stick close to those holes. And if you can get it into a area where there's like a tree, fallen tree or something like that, that's a prime spot for a channel catfish, especially during spawning season. So you can go in there, and that's what I'm planning some trips there in May, June, and probably a couple of them in the middle of summer. It's an absolutely beautiful place, well shaded, wonderful, and it's about 80 kilometers from my house here in this part of Eastern Ontario. And then, of course, I've got some plans on doing some fishing at the conservation area down here, which we're allowed to, by the way. The bird sanctuary, we call it. In there, there's channel catfish in the main current in the deep water, and in the other water, there's regular bullheads and carp. And you know me, I love that carp stuff, and we got carp in the St. Lawrence River that I'm like, God, probably 60, 70 pounds. There's some whoppers out there. Generally speaking, they're in the 20 pound, 10 to 20 pound class, but I've seen some horribly large specimens. But I don't think they've ever seen a fish hook. And sturgeon, man. We have monsters here. Like in the St. Lawrence River, there are sturgeon that are up to 600 pounds, man. And they'll suck it up like a carp, like a hot dog there, and they'll suck it up, and then, wow, there goes your line. But it's rare, but it does happen. I've had my line peeled right off by a sturgeon, just 300 yards, just gone, gone, gone down current. Because they love current. A sturgeon absolutely loves current. Fast water, if you can get anywhere near there, that's where you're going to get them. But so does channel catfish, and so do carp. I've seen carp come up there, and that's why I targeted that area. But you never know what you're going to get. And the other thing I've caught there is muskie, believe it or not, on hot dogs. Yeah, that was bizarre. But yeah, and at night I've caught pike at night on hot dog and worm. I know, and big pike too. Not the jacks. We're talking like 20 pounds, and you just wonder what the hell you're fishing for carp, right? And catfish, and all of a sudden, just wham, and away you go, and the line is just screaming. And I see there is another viewer out there. I don't know who it is. I don't see you haven't posted anything, but welcome aboard. Could be my wife. Hey, hon. She's not. She's with my mother-in-law today at the hospice. And then I know you say, well, why aren't you there? Well, I have been there quite a bit, but I just can't be there all the time because I've got boys here and I've got pets here that I have to take care of. And in the morning, I'm heading back to the hospice and spending time with my dear mother-in-law. She's a wonderful lady, guys. I wish you had a chance to meet her. She's refined. She doesn't think much of my fishing and that, but you know what? She's a lovely lady. She's got a heart of gold. And we're going to miss her dearly when she goes to that next realm. Okay. Well, I'm glad I still got 2 listeners. One of them could be my wife. And that's okay. I haven't run out of things to say. I'm just taking a break. I usually try to keep these things no more than an hour, guys, because I know you got other things to do in your life, and there's other channels and other ladies and gentlemen who want to put their stuff out there, so I'm not going to tie up all night. But this is just my perspective on fishing and how I feel about things. And the cheap stuff, I still fish cheap, and we talked about that. I what I do is I just simply buy what I need when I need it. Now I've had to buy some circle hooks for the catfish, and I had to buy some bait holders. They're kind of like that. Anyway, your oatmeal and all the other goop that you put in there, and you stick them in there, and you cast them out there, and the catfish go yum yum yum, and the carp do too, and it's always a lot of fun. But that's I've found some better bait casters. Looks like I'm going to purchase them later. I'm trying to keep everything costs down. I'm a working guy and I'm near retirement, so I don't want to spend a whole bunch of money, but I want to have a hell of a lot of fun. Got my kayak. So the kayak's going to take me out into, well, last year it did too, but I didn't do any videoing. And out to holes out there in the St. Lawrence, because where I live, it's pretty shallow, pretty close to, for a long ways out. There's weed banks and different things. And by midsummer, it's just kind of choked with weeds and it's not really good for fishing. But then if you just take the kayak past that over to the deep water and current, then you've got something. Because it changes the water, guys. Like I know that, currents, when you get to summertime, the water level drops in our lake and the weeds come up. So the weeds are great because they're an incubator for small fish, small sunfish, rock bass, catfish, you name it. And of course, baby carp. So it's important. But to fish it, you have to find the holes. If you're trying to fish for shore, good luck. Like you're going to be pulling in weeds every 5 seconds. So the kayak takes care of that. I find the big holes where there's no weeds, like up at the surface. Drop your hot dog, worm, a lure, whatever it is you're going to put down there. And there's always a catfish or a carp or perch or some specimen of fish down there that picks up on all that. And I hope that when I'm going to bring the camera out, I'm going to just bring the cell phone. Nothing serious. Like I told you, I'm not a serious kind of, just want to have a little fun, share some experiences with you. Put that on the kayak while we go fishing so we can see some of the trouble we get into. And I can go live feed on the kayak, but I don't know how well it's going to turn out. So what I might do is just pull up to an island, pull up a chair, set up the tripod and the camera, and just sit there and fish and drink a malted beverage, maybe smoke a cigar, fish under the stars, because I will be a lot of doing this a lot at night. Because I can't do midday fishing because I've got a condition. It's a myasthenia gravis, and it's a genetic one born. So heat, sun, and that makes me weak. So yeah, nighttime is the right time for this guy. Yeah, and hence it's really affected my life, my entire life. Like daytime fishing, you might see me out once in a while, but I won't be out for long, or it definitely won't be at high noon. Early morning, absolutely. You'll see me out in early morning. You'll see me in the late evening, and you'll definitely see me at night. Well, maybe you won't see me, but I'll be out there. But I have lights from the kayak in case anybody's wondering if, you crazy? You going on that big river or lake on a kayak at night? Yeah, I know the water pretty well, and also I've got lights, proper lights, because you have to be fitting within the realm of the travel codes, right, and law, because it is a place where traffic goes, so you have to behave like you're on the highway. And there's speed limits and everything, but I'm not too worried about the kayak. Figure if I do maybe 3 knots, I'm doing well. And there's the other thing too. I to get rolling along. My wife and I have a place on the Ottawa River. It's we picked up a nice spot. We're getting a trailer. We're going to put it on there. It's literally on the Ottawa River, right around the corner from the Mattawa River. And the fishing there is unbelievable. The Ottawa River in front of our camp is 180, 90 feet deep. The water is. And there are sturgeon down there, and there are probably some other monsters down there. But channel catfish, there's some big ones there. Muskie, walleye near shore just towards the nighttime. So that'll be my supper at night. I'll go fishing for my supper. those walleyes up there are just so beautiful. They're not huge. Um, I've seen them anywhere from 14 to 18 inches. Just they come up to the shoreline and eat all the minnows and stuff that come up there. You just put a little spinner out there and cast near the shore, like from your kayak, and wham, you'll get a bunch of them. That's the kind of walleye fishing I like. Here in the St. Lawrence, it's a little different. You got to find your spot, and then you current do your drifting and your jigging or casting, whatever it is. I usually cast, but I don't. I don't want to use the Ottawa River method because that's a little different. Maybe in the springtime it might work here. I have caught them near shore. Oh yeah, actually I've caught them in the middle of winter, right tight to shore. It's amazing. Cranking a lure for trout. Yeah, rainbow trout. Just cranking it fast, And I just let up as I was getting to shore, and I went to pull the damn lure out of the water. And I'm not kidding you. I'm about 4 inches from shore, and bam, nice 2-pound walleye. Just grabs it, and I just pull them out of the water and go, "What the hell?" But they can sit in those rocks, and you won't see them. That's bizarre. I've never seen anything like this. Because that fish must have been on the rocks, like near the rocks, so close to shore. Like, how did I not see him? But he saw me. Saw the lure too. And he was quite tasty. Yeah, walleye is probably the best eating fish in our lake. I like smallmouth bass, but I prefer walleye. Black crappie is the best, but it's the most mild meat that you can get, in my opinion, as far as freshwater fish goes. And we have a few spots where there's black crappie up here. And Upper Lake is a little different, and it's hard for me to figure out. Below the lake, Cornwall, where I was born, that spot there is a little different, and there's a lot of black crappie, and I'm familiar with the water there. Overhanging trees and no limbs and stuff, or anything with a little bit of cover, and especially boat docks. My experience with boat docks is crappie will go underneath the boats, and they'll hang out there. But oh boy, there's always a largemouth bass waiting for you, and you're going around jigging with your little tube jigs there. And hello, cranking and yanking. How you doing? I've been on your page more than once. At 351 too. Good evening, guys. We're from Ontario. It is about 6:58. I was supposed to come on at 6:30 sharp, but I set it up, but I don't know what I'm doing. Didn't quite work out the way I thought it was going to. So be patient with me, guys, and hopefully I got all these bugs ironed up by the time April comes and I start doing some bullhead fishing and get that started and start filming that, and then we have a little more content, right? Because right now I don't have a lot of content. Cranking and yanking. I don't know if I wished you a happy new year yet. At 351, I don't know, but happy new year and all the best in 2023 in your fishing. I'm looking forward to this year. It's exciting. Like cranking and yanking. I gotta tell you, the weather here has been frightful. I'm not exactly sure where you guys are at, but here in Ontario, we've been getting like 6 inches. I'm speaking American here, 6 inches of snow every other day, and it's piling up and it's not melting. Although today was +2 Canadian, or about 35 Fahrenheit, so we got rid of a tiny little bit. The roads were good to drive on, but there's still a lot of snow and ice. Yeah, thank you. They're Cleveland 351 or 351 Cleveland. That's a nice engine, by the way. When I was a kid, whoa, Screamer. That's a good name for a fishing place too. Hey, cranking and yanking. I'll be by your channel to see what's going on. I am in Louisiana. Yes, you are. I think I'm. Yeah, you got alligators, largemouth bass, big ones, and probably many other fish that I'm not aware of. I love Louisiana too, but as a Canadian, you got to be careful with your license numbers and that. You get in some of those jurisdictions as a Canadian, and you know that they're not going to be favorable to you. So if you break any of their laws, they're going to nail you. But they're always pretty nice, but they never let you off. So you get a little speeding ticket, you got to pay right there on the spot. Oh yeah, otherwise they're going to put your ass in jail. And you're eating bad food in the morning. Nah, it's not menacing, but it's just an inconvenient thing. To my hairline, I put this here to cut down on the glare, guys. This is my Grinch onesie that I got for Christmas from my boys and my wife. Yeah, I'm a dad. Been a dad for 22 years, and you know how it goes. When you're a dad, you're never not a dad, right? You're always having kids, even when they're like 30. My boys are in their 20s now. They're still at home trying to figure out the world, and it's tough right now for everyone, especially the young kids with the price of housing and rents and things like that. And you know, a 20-year-old man is really a boy. They're really when we turn 25, we kind of become men. By the time we're 30, we're somewhat mature, somewhat. That's when my wife kind of said, "Well, I guess I'll marry him." I don't know, but that's what she told me. Um, so we're down to one. I don't know who's on, whether it's Cranking or Yanking, but hey, welcome. Hey, and I never got a chance. If you're still on Cranking and Yanking and any of the other guys, thank you for subscribing to my channel. It's all about fun. I hope we have a lot of fun. I know you guys are good channels. I started this one maybe a couple of years ago, never took it seriously. I renamed it a couple of times. I'm looking for camaraderie and some good ideas when it comes to fishing. Cheap fishing, good fishing, and tackle ideas, bait ideas, presentation ideas. You know what? I might be 58 years old, but I don't know everything. Not even close. Yeah. So I don't know what time it is here, guys. I'm going to try to keep it to an hour because, like I said, I don't want to waste all your time. 7:02. So at 7:30, I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to speak to my lovely wife, and then I'm probably going to bed tonight. No sense going outside. I mean, snow everywhere. It's cold and freezing. Canadian wasteland until about April. Then we have massive floods and take your house away and all this stuff. You gotta love this country. It's not too bad down here in this part of Ontario. But I used to live up north in northern Ontario. Oh my God. Roads just gone because the trappers took out the beavers the year before, a couple of years before, and no beaver has come to maintenance the dam. And eventually the structure of the dam starts to weaken, and then you get floodwaters, and then bam. And Highway 66 up in northeastern Ontario near Kirkland Lake, gone. Stretches of it just gone because they didn't take care of that beaver situation. You know, it's strange how things can happen up here in this country. It's just so wild. You know, if you mess with an animal's dam, it may end up having catastrophic issues with a bridge or something down the road. Like how does an engineer plan for something like that, right? They don't. They can't. It's not in there. I'm sure they don't go to school and say, hey, you know what? Don't mess with the beaver dam. No, I don't think those words are ever uttered. But yeah, I did a lot of fishing up there on Bear Lake and Larder Lake. And I did fish on Temiskaming. But Temiskaming is like, wow, man. It's like 600 feet deep. And when you're in the middle, and we're in the middle, and like, I know there's no fish at 600 feet. Well, at least that it's going to come up alive anyway. So, but it's an amazing lake, and it feeds the Ottawa River. And then it goes right down into the St. Lawrence River at Montreal, right? Because that's where the two rivers meet up. Now, Montreal apparently has got some amazing channel catfish in the city parks. Yeah, I know. I am considering maybe doing a trip to Montreal a couple of times to try this out. I'll take my wife, of course. Stay the night in a beautiful hotel. Fine dining and whining. At least one of those nights. Any other night, we go down catfishing down by the park. I don't know if my wife will join me, but I'm hoping she will. And they got channel cats in Montreal that have been caught well over 40 pounds. Like Montreal's an interesting city. I mean, it's a world class city. It's got about 2 or 3 million people. But the thing is, they have a sewage plant. Okay, and a sewage plant is a bit antiquated, slightly out of date. Pretty capacities, pretty much, it's over capacity. And so what happens is in Montreal, they get a buildup in the sewage lagoon, and they just can't keep up with it. They can't treat it. What they do is they get a permit from the Ministry of Environment from Quebec, and then they just dump it the raw sewage right into the St. Lawrence River. And I swear the catfish must grow about 10 pounds when they go in there. And the carp, oh yeah, they love that stuff. Just in there, yum, yum, yum. I mean, I don't eat these things, but I mean, they get extra large in those areas. So I definitely a trip to Montreal is happening this year. And so far, you know, I'm looking at spending a couple of nights. Now everybody's gone from the house, and that's good. So I'm going to shut this down there. I'll stay on a little bit longer, guys, and we'll go from there. It's hard to keep talking for an hour straight. But thank you to you guys for coming on. And it's going to write a little thank you, guys. Thanks for showing up. Might do another one next week. I might do them in the afternoon, but like I told you, I was visiting my sick mother-in-law, and I didn't want to leave her in the afternoon. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for being here. How about that one? You guys have been awesome. Oh, somebody's back. I don't know who's back. Cranking Man at 351 or somebody else totally. I'll stick around for a little while. I was just about to shut it down. I don't know if I have a new person on, and if I do, I've been talking about my area where I fish and some of the plans I had. As like I say, I've got some trips to Jessup's Falls up near the Ottawa River or off of the Nation River this year, and we're going to fish channel catfish, bass. There's many other varieties of fish, sucker, carp. That's my target species, but I'll catch all kinds of different kind of fish, and I'll probably get excited and end up fishing somewhere else. All right, the last person has left. So I want to say thank you for showing up, guys, and maybe I'll just hang out a little bit, see if anybody pops in for a visit. Like to stick around for an hour. I know some of you guys are out there and you're doing your live feeds, and then I'll be joining you for a little bit, and then I'll be going to bed. It's nice having a couple of boys then by and chatting, cranking and yanking. And I'm going to stop by, and in 351 Cleveland, I'm going to do likewise. See what you folks have been up to. Should do that right now. Put up my YouTube channel over here, and 351 Cleveland. 351 Cleveland, what you been up to, man? Cleveland 351 is an awesome engine, but I'm going to say something else. A 454 4 barrels, nice engine too. Yeah, there, guys. And I'm back. Let me see what's going on here. Pretty quiet when you go and see the video after. You're going to see me just not saying anything because there's nobody on right now. These are new. I'm just doing them. It's good practice for me to stay on and get some. I'm just going to flip over to another channel for a second, guys. See what's going on. So I don't quite understand why. 351 Cleveland. You should be. It should definitely be on there. Hang on. What is going on here, guys? Try that way, see where we get to. You gotta be kidding me. I can't find the channel. I've been on it. That's crazy, man. I'm gonna find it though. Cranking and yanking. See how you guys are doing. Cranking and yanking. Well, cranking and yanking. I found your channel, and I'm looking for 351 Cleveland. I can't find the channel. That doesn't make any sense. I am definitely going to be over that cold water bass video. I'm going to be taking a look at because I've got cold water and we have bass. They like the rocks. So I'm going to take a look at that. And 351 Cleveland, what is going on? Why can't I see you? That doesn't make any sense. I'm going to see if maybe, I know why. Duh. Old Robbie ain't so smart sometimes. Hang on. Should be a little bit better. Hmm. No, I do not know, guys. Cleveland 351. I'm not sure where you're coming from. I've definitely been on your channel, and so, I'm sure I'm going to see you again. When I do, I'm going to click on to save the channel. I know I have. Odd things happen. So I'm still here. We're talking fishing. Got the fishing rod back there. Some of my target species. I suppose I should ask you more questions. What kind of fish do you fish for? Make this more interactive instead of me just talking. I'm learning, guys. Be patient with me. I know people are coming back and forth to join the conversation when I think there might be, 4 or 5 people. What I'm going to do there is I'm going to give you guys maybe a week lead up and hope that everything works out. And if it doesn't, well, it doesn't. But we're going to keep trying until I get it right. And maybe we'll do a Sunday afternoon show or something like that. Especially after the Super Bowl. Sunday afternoon, a lot of us are just not doing too much, but in the wintertime, if you're in Canada, I might do some tobogganing or something like that. I guess, and clearing snow. That seems to be a big sport here where I live. $351 Cleveland. You are in South Carolina. I got that. And I'll be searching for your channel because I don't understand why I cannot find it. Cleveland. Yeah, it's like I don't understand. 351. I'm going to try it again. That blows me away. There we go. I found you. Oh boy, you have some good water, man. I don't. I think I've seen this video. I'm back. See if anybody's gonna show up, but if not, I'm not gonna worry about it. Just practicing. And What else I can tell you I got going on here, guys? Give me that kind of a look here. And I can show you one of my tackle boxes right here. Got a trusty lighter. Of course, your needle nose pliers, and I got a big hook here. You guys can't even see that, but that's a catfish hook. That's the kind I use for my catfish. But I've got it on a stupid mono leader, guys. And mono is not the thing you're going to use. This has got to be on a braided wire. But, like I said before, I'm learning. So that's the situation there. I'm using these big, heavy sinkers. These are 50-gram sinkers. Now, you can use bigger, depending on what you're casting. But I'm using 15-pound test and a big sinker. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that braided lead on there. Then I got smaller sinkers too for the finesse fishing, where you drop them in, or you got to keep a bobber going. Then this is just my. I got all kinds of hooks and sinkers, and I got a stone here. And a lot more hooks in it, but I think what we're going to do is I'm going to spinner. That's for the walleyes, guys. Right near the shoreline. This is one of my tackle boxes. I used to have one filled with bugs for crappie. My son had them, threw them somewhere, and I've never seen them again. So it's when you have kids there, you don't really have any space of your own, right? Does somebody else show up here? Let me take a look. Don't think so. Man. Anyway, I take this one fishing with me. I don't take all my tackle fishing with me. People make that big mistake, of taking all their tackle once. You don't need everything. I'm telling you right now, you target, right? If you're gonna go fish for catfish, you're gonna spend a day catfishing. You're not gonna bring all your musky lures and your all that other stuff. You're just not gonna do it. So the only reason I'm staying on here as long as I am, guys, is just practice. And get some traffic coming. Make this show a little bit better. I would have loved to have done this one outside today, but it's just snowed in. We're snowed in. There's like 3 feet of snow in the backyard. Nobody's going anywhere. Yep. I'm glad I found that. I'm live, apparently, guys. Look at me, I'm live. And my beautiful black cat joined me earlier, Moonbeam. Yeah, so one of the things I'm going to try and do here is be a little more consistent with the time that I do my feeds. Okay, and maybe shorten them up to half an hour because I'm not like super popular. I don't need to be. And if it's a really good talk that we're having, what I'll do is I'll just run it even further, maybe an hour, 2 hours, if it's going well. Of course, when I'm live fishing, it's not going to be a big deal. We're just going to have a live stream, and then I'll take the edit off of these live streams and maybe make a little video for you. But you're always welcome to go and visit the live archive and check out some of the things we've done. We're going to keep the good, bad, the ugly on there because you learn from everything. And if I can help anybody else with their live stream, I'd be happy to. So we're all in this together. We're all, we all have our hobbies, and we like to fish, and we also like the camaraderie. Because I'll tell you something: when you say, "Oh, I'm going to go fishing at night," all I hear is crickets chirping. You going fishing at night, Robbie? Yeah, nobody thinks about fishing at night. But for me, it's the only way I can fish. And some people have even accused me of not fishing ever because I don't go during the day because I can't. I mean, in the fall when it's overcast and stuff like that. But even that, sometimes the light bothers my eyes. See that kind of squinty there. This is the eye that droops there with my myasthenia. It gets really bad and I get a headache, and then this eye will literally close. It's kind of crazy. But I've got a couple of really good medications for this disorder. And for the most part, my life is so much better. Well, it is. My life is way better. I'm able to walk all right, and I'm able to talk all right. I'm not slurring my words, and my head isn't collapsing all the time. I mean, I was in bad shape, man. In my 40s, I thought I was a goner. My wife saved my life. She said I should use she said I should get on an anti-inflammatory, but I tried the steroids, and that didn't work. So, but I found another anti-inflammatory, very powerful one, and two powerful anti-inflammatories, but they work a little bit differently, and I'm on them, and my God, the quality of my life has dramatically improved. I still get fatigue, you're not tired. Well, you wouldn't know, but if you had myasthenia gravis, genetic or immune autoimmune, either one of those, you know that as you go through your day, you're wear down really fast, and some days you wake up with a headache, and you don't feel good, and you think you're at 100% or close to it, maybe 70, but really you're at 10. It's so bad for me. It just like mental fog and all that other stuff. So that's why I fish at night, so I don't get any of that. I want to be alive, I want to be well, and I don't want to get myself into trouble. I gotta watch, because whenever I have a myasthenic, well, I don't know if we call it a crisis, but when you get them, what happens is suddenly you get your whole body just gets weak. Well, not your whole body, but the shoulders for me and around my waist and my legs get really weak, and my breathing starts to whoa. And it's not something I can like. I'm not gasping for air. I just simply cannot get air in or out. It's just I've stopped breathing. It's kind of like I can't get it in or out. It's not an asthma attack. Way different. And then the eye will droop and all kinds of other stuff. But then eventually it comes back, but it is very low, and it's about 30% of what it would normally be. And so I have to be very careful when that happens. And obviously, I'm not going to be working. I'm not going to be doing anything except getting myself somewhere cool, preferably my bedroom, central air conditioned house, and stay safe. Because that's happened to me on a beach one time. It was kind of scary, where I ended up not. I almost died, really. Luckily, some friends threw some cold water on me and got me into the water, and I finally started to come around. As soon as I hit the colder water, I was doing all right. It's when you get hot, guys, with myasthenia gravis, it's bad news. Now I got another 7 minutes, so if anybody else is going to join me, that's great. If not, that's fine. So what I've learned from this night with the two wonderful guests that I've had on is that I need to be better prepared to talk about stuff. I need to be better prepared to engage with people, let them do some talking. I need to ask questions. I'm learning. I had the live feed. I got that part right. And people were queued up, and I guess it was the two gentlemen there. At one point, I think I had three. But the other person would identify himself. Maybe it was my wife. I don't know. Could be. But yeah, so when we come back here next Saturday, I'm going to set it up maybe on a Tuesday for a Saturday, or maybe even a Friday night kind of meet up, or Thursday night. I don't want to interfere with everybody else's channels who's been doing very well. Because my channel's like, it's okay. It's getting better. It's going to take some time. And I understand that. And if you guys got any critiques, anything that would help me, I'd love to hear it. If you guys don't mind. So live feed's taking a little bit of time for me to get used to, but it's definitely going to be a part of our channel. And then I'm going to, whenever the weather gets better, we'll do outdoor venues by the river while we're fishing. You know, that would be fun. So, waiting for my hour. Anybody's out there? I'm here. I'll do a better job of advertising the live feed. Then I'll get my butt here. We'll get talking. I thought the live feed would come on automatically. It didn't. So it's kind of surprise. Suppose they set it up that way so that just in case that you weren't there, you wouldn't get a picture of your living room or something like that for an hour or however long you're going to be on for. 55-minute mark. Just scrolling through my different people over here and nobody else at the moment. So 2 people and Cleveland 351 or 351 Cleveland and cranking and yanking. Yes. That all that fallen timber there in South Carolina there, that looks like really good bass and catfish water. I didn't fish when I was in South Carolina. I didn't fish that kind of lake. I fished it was clear water lake. And I got catfish and bass. And there were some alligators, they said, but I didn't see any, like really too many. I think I saw 2 small ones there, but not in the water. Not like Florida where they're all over the place. Like you just look and like, ooh, there's like 10 of them sitting up there. And let's go for a swim, said nobody. Alligator. You meet some of the wonderful Glade people up there. They're nice folks, some of them. Very intelligent. A lot of those folks are. And then there are other people there who didn't get formally educated. Got like grade 4, and it's like they're driving a big, huge pickup truck and they live in a mansion. And it's like, I look at myself with my education and go, what have I done wrong? No, but it's hard work. And these people are up to it for sure. They are. And we're coming in on the close, guys. 56 minutes and 41 seconds. And what I'm learning is cut down on the glare. So the hat was a good idea, and this is a good idea, but, I don't think people were prepared to see me in a onesie today. More fishing rods, some fishing tackle up there, and my cat was nice to have. To make it more interesting for you guys to come in and visit. $57 and $8. And I'm going to join a couple live channels and talk to my lovely wife. See how my wonderful mother-in-law's doing. I know how she's doing. She's checking out. My heart's with her. She's 9 years old. She's going to be missed. She's one of those people that you want to live there forever. But none of us do. Yeah, I'm also going to set up a little bit of a more fishy kind of background, make it more interesting for my viewers coming in there. A lot of you guys have got some good channels, and I'm going to get some ideas off of you. I won't steal them, though. It's not right. I'll just modify them to make it work for my channel. That's it. So I hope everybody's well tonight, and I hope that if you are able to fish, that you go fishing and you're successful fishing. Be kind to the fish. You're going to keep them. That's great. Eat them. If you're not going to keep them, be gentle with them and please put them back, and so they can go back to their fishy friends and family. I mean, we don't often think that these other creatures have spirituality or anything like that. And maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. But I always approach it from, if I was a fish, how would I want to be treated? It's bad enough I got hooked in the mouth. But, you don't need to batter a fish just because you caught it. You just be as gentle and kind to it as you can. Unless you're going to keep it and then you knock it out, kill it. So that's the humane way of doing things. It's the way I do it. I don't keep many fish, but when I do, that's the way I process them. I don't want to hurt them, unless I'm going to eat them. If I'm going to eat them, that's fine. But usually I primarily keep trout and walleye and bass. But perch and crappie. But the other fish I just find them too gamey. And catfish, well, that's fine. I don't mind the occasional catfish too. And carp, no. Not into carp. I tried it a couple of times, and each time it was like, no thanks. It's not something I'm into. And the damn fish is so hard to clean. I've seen some guys like how they cleaned it, and I thought, well, that's interesting, but I don't know. Maybe I just need to. I hear the grass carp is quite tasty, and there's lots of those. We don't have any in St. Lawrence yet that I'm aware of, but I'm sure they're coming because they're spreading like wildfire. Anyway, goodbye, guys. Thank you for coming by, the people who did, and I'll try and do this again next week. Take care, everyone.